Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Deb, and I'm here to talk about my journey as a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So, I didn't always start out this way. As a matter of fact, people who knew me in high school would have never thought I would become a doctor, let alone a business owner. When I was a senior in high school, my principal actually approached me one day in the stair hall and said, "I've got dropout papers waiting for you on my desk. Why don't you come sign them and join the rest of your friends who've dropped out of high school?" Now, people who know me or knew me back then realized that I was a rebel child. So if you said something like that to me, I was damn sure I was going to prove you wrong. And I guess that's exactly what I did. And 15 years later, when he showed up to our class reunion, nobody could believe that I created what I did and who I am. So I want to tell you a little bit about what got me started with that and what I've done, because it's an amazing story along the way. So I started out in school like a lot of other people, but I started out in a career that I really didn't have any intention of doing. When I was 16, I wanted to be a lawyer. Now, hold on, I know what you guys are thinking about lawyers, but that's what I wanted to do. But yet, when I was 14, I had told my parents I wanted to be a hairstylist. Now, come on, parents. How many times do kids tell you that when they're 14? But that's not exactly what they want to do. It just sounds fun then. But at the time, I didn't have the wherewithal to tell my parents that I didn't want to really do that, because they had already told all of their friends that I was going to be a hairstylist and own my own business someday. So I went to school after graduating high school at 17 and became a hairstylist. Not a very good one at that, but I did that for about 10 years. And while I was on my journey of being a hairstylist, I realized that I really loved helping people. And for those of you that are a hairstylist, you know that you're the hair therapist, right? You're talking to people about all their problems and their struggles, and you're listening to them, and you're supporting them in their coaching. So I went back to school and dabbled in a lot of different things within health until I settled on being a nurse. And when I graduated from nursing school, I loved what I was doing back then as an infertility nurse. It was such a passion for me to work with women. And I really felt like I knew that I was home. I was at my calling. But if I wanted to continue to do the things that I was able to do at the fertility clinic that I worked in, I had to go back to school to become a nurse practitioner, which is what I did. So I spent the next 15 years in school, from nursing school to being a nurse practitioner. And then I learned about naturopathic medicine because I became sick myself. And in order to help me, I went to my wacky friends who back then, naturopathic medicine and functional medicine wasn't really that popular, but I had friends that I knew could help me because the conventional medicine system left me awry. When I presented with my symptoms, the only thing they could offer me were antidepressants and narcotics. And they told me to go home and be prepared to be disabled in 4 years at the age of 28. And my rebel child came back out, and I refused to become disabled. I had just had a child. There was no way I could afford to do this, and there was no way I was giving in. So I sought out some functional medicine practitioners back then who were known as herbalists and nutritionists. And they taught me a whole new way of looking at health and a whole new way of looking at medicine, which led me to go back to school for my doctorate in naturopathic medicine. And I absolutely loved naturopathic medicine. I felt like I finally was able to blend the two of both worlds of women's health and functional medicine. And I went on to create one of the biggest integrative medical clinics in the Midwest, Serenity Healthcare Center. And I absolutely love being the founder of Serenity Healthcare Center. And today I'm training new practitioners in functional medicine to scale functional medicine into the future and to provide a legacy not only for me, but for all of the patients that I've treated over the last 20 years, so that we can ensure that there are practitioners that are knowledgeable and experts in their fields to continue to deliver functional medicine care. Now, I know that sounds crazy because you're seeing ads all the time for practitioners that do this kind of medicine, and it seems like they're everywhere and they've been everywhere and they will always be here. But I'm here to tell you that's probably not the case. The true functional medicine founders of today started practicing in the 70s and the 80s, and they're starting to age out of the system. And there's very few young practitioners coming up behind them to take over their practices and continue their legacy and continue the knowledge that they've earned and gained over the last 20 years. But I'm here to ensure that as patients, you will have that opportunity to have that kind of expert care through Serenity Healthcare Center. Now, it's been an amazing life for me. I've had some struggles with my own health. My husband was injured at work, for those of you who know me. He went through a medical malpractice. A surgeon operated on him who was under the influence of other medication and actually provided a substance in his back that was not FDA approved, nor approved by us to be used as an alternative therapy. That therapy failed and left him with permanent nerve damage. And during that time, it was a major struggle for me with the medical system, as well as helping my family and my spouse recover from this tragic incident. But we've survived, and he's doing much better today thanks to the use of stem cell therapy. And Dr. Purita in Florida is the only stem cell therapist that I would ever recommend my family, my friends, or my patients see for stem cell. He is amazing, and he is the most knowledgeable practitioner I have found in many, many years. So we've recovered from a lot of tragic things over the years. And then I got injured again. 5 years ago, I was in a car accident, and I was the only one in that car that was injured that day. And although I thought I just sustained a minor ankle injury, what I didn't realize was that I sustained a head trauma that has left some damage that I'm working through even today. But I'm here to tell you that functional medicine again came to my rescue and really helped me expand my knowledge base on brain health and function. And one of the things that it's taught me more than anything is that burning the candle at both ends, which is what I've done for 20 years, is not as healthy for me as I want to believe. Now, come on, we all know that burning the candle at both ends is not good. I would never tell my patients to do that, but yet I was working from 7 in the morning until 11 at night, 7 days a week. Wasn't really enjoying my life, wasn't really enjoying my family or making myself available to them the way I should have, because it was all about driving business. It was all about serving and caring for my patients. But what I lost was serving and caring for myself and for my family. So this head injury allowed me to take a step back and re-examine my life and re-examine how I want my life to look and what is really important to me. And during that time, I've healed. I have some residual leftover problems, but it's very minimal and minor. But I've healed and I've moved on again. And since that time, I've recreated 3 more businesses. So when you talk about being a multi-passionate entrepreneur, that is me, the owner of 6 amazing businesses, a gluten-free flour line that's ready to launch any day, a wonderful coaching program where I have the opportunity to help millions of women create their dreams and live their life the way they want to on their terms with their own health and wellness at their root of creating that program. I also created an amazing success program to help you recreate your sex life exactly the way you want it. Because let's face it, busy entrepreneurial women have very little time for sex. Most of the women that I've seen over the years tell me I don't even think about sex. I could care less about it. And guess what? I became one of those women too. But after deciding that sex was important to me and recreating my love life was as important to me as developing my businesses, I went on an amazing trip to Spain to learn about femininity. I've studied femininity my whole life, but this one trip made all the difference for me in the world. And I'm bringing everything that I've learned in that trip and in that course to you in my Success program. And I can't wait to help you create the sex life of your dreams so you can have success as well. So it is possible to be a multi-passionate entrepreneur, despite the fact of most people telling you you need to niche things. You can have multiple identities and have multiple things that you want to bring to the world. You just need to make sure they all intertwine with one another. So at the core of everything that I do is helping women create the life that they love to have and that they are desiring to have in a successful, happy, balanced manner. Because I know over the years exactly what not to do, and now I've learned exactly what to do. And I want to share that opportunity with you. So please follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram and YouTube, and learn from my mistakes, but also learn from my gains. Because life is a wonderful ride as long as you learn how to ride the ups and downs. And I'm here to help you do all of that.